Hello, welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. And let's get her going with the story I've been trying to get going, but because of technical difficulties, I haven't been able to. So, without any further ado, whatever you want to call it, without any further delay, this is The Angel of War.
Tash, the angel of war. On a distant world, beneath endless skies tinged with hues of lavender and azure, stood a colossal statue carved from alabaster and gold. It depicted an angel, wings spread wide in a posture of judgment and protection. Her face stern yet serene. She clasped in her right hand a mighty golden sledgehammer, the metal polished by centuries of prayerful hands, gleaming brightly under twin suns. For ages, people had gathered at her feet in quiet reverence, whispering prayers of peace and gratitude. The statue had remained silent and motionless through countless generations, a symbol of serenity, watching over a planet that had known no war for so long that violence had become nothing but myth and legend. But peace, like all precious things, is fragile. In the north, among jagged mountains and deep forests, a young nation emerged. Proud, ambitious, and restless, they grew bored of serenity, impatient with stillness. The elders spoke of an ancient legend that claimed the angel would awaken when war returned, leading those who dared wield weapons to conquer the entire world. Blinded by dreams of dominance, the young nation's rulers summoned their engineers, metalworkers, and weaponsmiths. Mighty factories rose overnight, belching clouds of smoke that blackened the once clear skies. Workers built weapons unlike anything the world had seen. Handheld firearms, enormous artillery cannons, armored tanks with tracks that crushed forests into mulch beneath their unstoppable advance. At last, beneath banners bearing the angel's visage, the armies gathered. Their leader, a charismatic man named Varus, stood before the eager troops, proclaiming their divine destiny. The soldiers, awed by their deadly machines, believed wholeheartedly that their war would awaken the angel and that she would lead them to global supremacy. The signal was given, and the tanks, lined neatly in ranks, raised their massive barrels skyward. In unison, they fired an artillery salute, thunderous explosions echoing through the air, the sound so powerful it rattled bones and shook mountains. As the echoes faded, something else began. A sound unfamiliar and terrifying. A grinding of ancient stone, the cracking of muscles locked in stillness for millennia. Soldiers turned wide-eyed toward the statue. To their shock and awe, the angel's wings began to tremble, stone crumbling away, revealing feathers of brilliant white beneath. Dust fell like rain around her feet as her golden eyes opened, blazing with molten fury. The angel raised the great golden sledgehammer above her head, her wings spreading in powerful strokes. In a blur of white feathers and golden light, she took flight, soaring toward the assembled army with divine purpose. Before the soldiers could even gasp, the angel descended, hammer swinging downward. She struck the nearest tank with a sound like thunder splitting the sky, reducing the metal behemoth to twisted shards as if it were little more than cardboard and tinfoil. Amid the smoking wreckage sat a trembling soldier, eyes wide with terror. With gentle yet unyielding strength, the angel reached down and lifted the soldier by his collar, setting him carefully upon the wreckage. Her voice echoed clearly, heard by every soul assembled. No war but my own. Her words were soft yet unbreakable, a command carved from reality itself. In a furious storm of feathers and golden fury, the angel turned upon the instruments of war. One by one, tanks were crushed beneath her hammer, artillery cannons splintered, handheld weapons collected from soldiers too awestruck or frightened to resist. Her voice continued to resonate, echoing her single decree. That war would belong solely to her, and she would permit none other upon this world. Many soldiers dropped their weapons willingly, bowing before the angel as if confessing their sins. Others ran away in shame, recognizing the folly of their arrogance. But Varus, their proud leader, watched this with rage and humiliation. His dream of conquest was shattering before his very eyes. Blinded by anger, he ordered his remaining troops to fire upon the angel, to destroy her at any cost. Many refused, throwing down their rifles and walking away. Those who obeyed hesitated only briefly before firing. The angel moved faster than the eye could follow. Long-range artillery crumbled beneath blows delivered faster than their operators could comprehend. Tanks melted beneath her blazing gaze. Soon, Varys found himself nearly alone, isolated in his fortress, protected by high walls and reinforced bunkers. But even those walls offered no protection from divine wrath. With a single mighty strike, the fortress walls crumbled, stones and steel beams scattered like leaves in a storm. The ceiling peeled back, revealing Varys trembling inside, surrounded by cowering generals and frightened soldiers. Slowly, majestically, the angel hovered downward, wings barely beating, feet never quite touching the ground. She came to rest just before the terrified leader. Varys, heart pounding, felt his knees begin to buckle, unable to look directly into the angel's golden eyes, eyes that pierced his soul and weighed him with perfect judgment. "You are the source of this war," she said, her voice calm, resolute, eternal. "It ends with you." Raising her hammer with a speed beyond mortal comprehension, she brought it down toward Varys's head. He saw the hammer approaching with the clarity of impending death, felt the wind of its passing. Yet at the last possible instant, the hammer froze, its golden head poised inches from his brow. A single drop of sweat fell from Varys's forehead onto the golden hammer, glistening like a diamond. His eyes rolled back, consciousness fleeing in the face of his near obliteration. He collapsed, unconscious but unharmed, his arrogance crushed, replaced forever by humility and understanding. War was not something to be trifled with or summoned lightly. It was no plaything of mortals, and the angel had taught him this lesson more powerfully than any death could have. Slowly, silently, the angel rose back into the sky, leaving behind the broken machinery of war. She returned to her ancient pedestal, folding her wings once more. With a sigh, she became stone again, frozen in eternal vigilance, her sledgehammer resting heavily upon her shoulder. The world around her stirred gently. Soldiers walked slowly home, stripped of their arrogance, replaced by a deeper wisdom born of humility and gratitude. The factories ceased their belching smoke, their doors shuttered, their weapons melted down into plowshares and tools of creation. Peace reigned once more. But now, everyone knew. The angel was no mere passive guardian. She was the keeper of war, its sole master, its sole arbiter. And though she stood motionless once again, every eye gazed upon her statue with newfound respect and trembling reverence, knowing that war, should it ever rise again, would meet its end beneath the golden hammer of the angel of war.
Wow, I was really happy with the way that one turned out. It's a pretty simple idea, but epic in scale, you could say. Um, yeah, with some really good action in this one. Um, I felt like it really brings you on a journey and puts you in this little world. And it doesn't give you a whole lot of history or details on the world or anything like that, but just that it was a place that had no war, and then it decided to, when then somebody decided they wanted war, and they figured the angel would help them do that, and didn't turn out that way. Turns out war did awaken the angel, but not so the angel could lead them, or lead them away from war, you could say. In a way, the angel did lead them, but not to victory. I like conflicts that don't have um, casualties for the most part. Um, I mean, it's easy to have a story where a whole bunch of people get killed, and that's what we do with war in real life. Is two sides kill the crap out of each other, and then you have a really hard time forgiving the other side because, well, they killed your friends or your family or whatever. But if you're able to wage a war without killing anybody, you wouldn't have any reason to resist the next age that came after the war because it didn't come at the cost of someone's life. That's just my opinion, and it may be unrealistic. But yeah, I I'm really glad that I was finally able to upload the story because this just turned out the way I had plotted it out. I pretty much all the details that are there, I I had planned out, and then GPT put it back together. And the only thing that it really changed around was that little thing at the end with the hammer and the bead of sweat. I wanted it so the angel basically like swiped a bead of sweat off his head, like extreme power, but with extreme precision, and just took off a bead of sweat. But uh, Chat GPT had it so the hammer kind of passed in front of his head and then just kind of hovered there, and he just sort of dripped a drop of sweat on it and passed out. And I think I had him passing out originally. I would have to check my notes. Actually, I don't remember if he passed out or not in my original draft, or if that was something that GPT added. But it works. I like it. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and thank you for watching. Um, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I love you.